Welcome to episode 460 of Get Paid for Your Pad. This is an episode of STR Conversations with your host, Eric Muller and Jasper Rivers. What's up, Eric?
What is up, buddy? Excited to dive
it
into this, man.
Yeah, we got exciting stuff to talk about because the STR Legends Mastermind is open. I'm wearing my Shirt from Rental Legends shirt here. We're going to share with everybody how people can get involved, who it's for, what we're doing in the next 12 months. We got some exciting stuff coming up. How's Idlewild? You're in one of our units in the schoolhouse. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm in the schoolhouse right now, which is really cool. So this is a it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, little cabin. Apparently it was built in the late 1800s. We don't have too much info on it, but yeah, it's an old schoolhouse and it's awesome, man. It was snowing out last night. So that was crazy going from San Diego, being in flip-flops. It's coming up here 2 hours later. And, I think it snowed out about 5 inches. So yeah, man, I just freaking love it up here. We're doing our survey. So hopefully in a couple of weeks, we'll get our survey back. So we can start laying out the tiny home development. And then, this week I'm meeting contractors, plumbers, roofers, things like that to get the current properties kind of fine-tuned for our guest as we start going down the path of the redesign and redevelopment, which I'm pumped for, man. Yeah,
sweet, dude. That sounds like we're make some progress there.
Yeah, making a lot of progress, man. We're we're making progress, dude. Like it's not as fast as I want it to go. As you and I know, like we just finished our Q2 offsite, and our biggest challenge is being understaffed at the moment. So we're in the process now of building out the funnels, hiring, doing the whole thing. But yeah, we're making progress. Things are awesome. I think we're going to renovate design-wise. We're going to redesign the schoolhouse and the Daydreamer's Den because there's no major construction. It's all cosmetic interior design. So we're going to start with that as we're getting prices and all that stuff to renovate the barn and renovate the mill house. That's quite a bit of work that we got to do there. So yeah, I'm pumped, man. It's exciting. It's really exciting.
Yeah. Talk about hiring. Before we dive into the mastermind, let's share those 2 positions that we're actually hiring for at Overnight Success as well.
Yeah. I mean, essentially we have three positions that we're hiring for right now. We're looking for an executive assistant, someone that's going to work directly with me and you and just kind of holding our lives together. So we're looking to bring on a very high level executive assistant into the company. But the 2 big positions that I'm really excited about that we've been working on for a couple of months now to get to this point where we can hire is one is digital content manager. So we're looking for a full-time digital content manager, someone who's just obsessed with everything digital marketing, right? Who is, has the ability to kind of do a little bit of everything on all the platforms and understands strategy, understands, distribution, content distribution, all that stuff. So that's somebody that is going to be working directly with me on the marketing team for Overnight Success. So I'm very excited about that. That's something that we've been working on for a few months. So, and then the second position is a sales rep for Overnight Success. So we're looking for somebody to join the team who has experience with high ticket price enrollment, somebody who could really support us on the continued growth of Overnight Success with Legends X and Legends Mastermind. We have so much growth right now that it's time to start expanding out. And Matt, who is our sales representative, who was supporting us for a while, has made a switch to focus on his company because his company is growing. So yeah, we have those 2 spots that we're going to be bringing in and pretty pumped about. So for anyone who's interested, if you guys think that it's a good fit for you, or if you know anybody that could fit those positions well, I think the pages are overnightsuccess.io. What is it? Overnightsuccess.io.
Yeah, /hiring and then /hiring-marketing. Those are the 2 pages.
So let's say that again. Overnightsuccess.io hiring dash sales.
No,
and then
just hiring. We just put hiring and nothing else. Then you get to the sales page for the business.
So that's an old one then. Yeah, that's an old one.
Okay, let me check.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to edit that one out. But yeah, so it's overnightsuccess.io/hiring dash sales. So that's the brand new one for the sales rep. And then for the marketing position, it's overnightsuccess.io/hiring dash marketing. I promise you, next time we launch a position, it's gonna be a lot easier to find that page. That's a lot to type in.
Yeah, that is a lot to type in. But you can also check your email if you're on our email list, and if you're not on our list, go to getpaidforyourbat.com and just sign up. But if you go to your email inbox and you're on our email list, you will have an email as well. Where either it's an email about these positions, or in the PST, you'll see those two links as well. So if you're interested, go ahead, you can check your email or go straight to these pages.
Yep.
And we have these positions open. Application deadline is about just under 2 weeks from now. So, but yeah, super exciting, man. Like, we definitely need some help. It's just a really cool position to be in, that we're, on both companies, like we're hiring people, and it's just super exciting to get that help, because we need some help. Like, we're pretty busy.
Yeah, we're very busy. Yeah. And things are growing. So yeah, we're hiring for Overnight Success. And then in a few weeks, we're going to be announcing what we're doing for Free Wild, which is exciting. But dude, let's officially announce what we've been working on in the background and what's coming up in a couple of months from now.
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked about the mastermind last week, of course, on Friday, where we were kind of telling the story of, how we got started, why we started the mastermind. And now we officially have opened the doors for new members. So we're super, super excited about this. This has been a long-term coming, we are both passionate about the live events. I was just talking to one of our members, Alex, who runs 120 units in Aruba. Literally just talking to him an hour ago. And as we were talking, I was like, man, I'm so excited to be able to meet this person in person, which is we're going to be able to do in June. Right.
That's right.
We have secured an amazing property in Oaxaca, Mexico. Are you able to pronounce that yet, Eric?
Oaxaca. Yeah, I've been practicing it for weeks.
Yeah, Oaxaca I've never been to that region, but it's a very popular region in Mexico. A lot of people rave about the food down there. Mm-hmm. Every time I go to Mexico, people are saying, like, you got to go to Oaxaca because the food is incredible.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I'm super excited about. But it's a badass property as well that we managed to find.
Yeah. So just kind of, because I want to touch on all that stuff. So STR Legends Mastermind is officially open. We're officially taking applications for that. To kind of give some high level background on what the Mastermind's about as well is we're only going to open this up for about 30 companies. We may go a little bit above or maybe a little bit less, depending on the actual individuals that we find. But it's by design, very intimate and small, right? The reason for that is this isn't an event that people are paying to be in the room and have someone speak at them. This is a mastermind to be in the room to work as a collective with the other individuals in the room. So we have to keep the room small. We focus on keeping the room intimate while focusing on the success of the individuals. So very high level quality companies that are coming through this program. Also the growth mindset individuals that are really focused on not only growing their companies to be as profitable as possible, but also growing themselves as entrepreneurs, as individuals, all of that. So we are officially opening applications for that. To qualify for the mastermind, there's 3 main qualifications. Number 1 is you have to have a minimum of 50 short-term rental listings. So that's a bare minimum. Most of our members have anywhere between 50 and 400 short-term rental listings. You have to be doing $2 million or more in top line revenue, and or own $3 million worth of short-term rental real estate. Okay. So the reason we have that is we want to go into this room to solve big problems at scale with these companies, right? So we're really focused on companies at scale, not companies that have VC backed funding and big board of advisors, things like that. These are the bootstrap companies that, are either really just focused on. Most of our companies that are in here, they started with just a couple of listings, and before they knew it, they had 50. Before they knew it, they had 200, and so on and so forth, and growing that, right? So it's like we're really focused on the bootstrappers, the real entrepreneurs that are growing these companies that don't have the financing behind them and the board of advisors behind them to really grow. So so there's the qualifications to get into the room, and then we focus on 3 types of short-term rental operators. So this room is going to be made up of 1/3 short-term rental operators, either being management or rental arbitrage companies. Number 2 would be 1/3 of the room will be boutique hoteliers, either operators or owners. And then 1/3 of the room is going to be short-term rental hospitality investors. The idea is to bring a little bit of everybody in the group, because we are, even us, like we're focused on scaling the operational side, but we're also focused on scaling the investment side. And most of the legends that are in this group are focused on growing a front-facing brand, either a management or arbitrage, and then also investing in real estate, building the wealth side of their business. So that's who we're focused on getting into the group. And dude, I can't wait, man. It's been, 2 years since we've been in a room together. Right.
Yeah. Longer. January 2020, Colombia. So 2 years and 2 months already.
Yeah. And a lot of events are popping up, and, like traditional short-term rental events are popping up. But I'm excited for this because what we've done is we've rented, and let's talk about the property as well. We've rented this incredible, I don't know what to call it, like resort style property that has 8 different villas on it, like 5 different pools, like all this crazy stuff, sitting on top of the cliff overlooking the ocean, right? Just absolutely inspiring, beautiful home. It's all inclusive. So we have local food there. So restaurants, chefs, the whole thing. So the idea is that we're creating this like memorable experience where CEOs can go down there and fully disconnect to focus on the biggest problems in their business and the biggest opportunities in their business. And we do it in a setting to where we can connect with people, be inspired, but then also, go deep into the challenges that we're focused on. So, dude, I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see who we bring in. I know we got quite a bit of the OG legends that are coming back for this round. So I can't wait to see who we can meet either through this podcast or referrals or whatever else to fill this room.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're listening to this and if you want to know more about the mastermind, go to strlegends.com. You'll find tons of information about the event, the structure of the mastermind, what's included, some of the past members as well. And you'll find a apply button on that page as well. So if you think you qualify for this mastermind, you want to get involved, you simply click on that apply button. You go through a quick application process so we can get some information for you, and then you're going to get on a call with everybody that applies, Eric, right?
Yeah. So I thought because this is essentially like our inner circle of individuals that we're going to be working with for over a year. Or for a year, I speak to every single person who qualifies and applies for the mastermind. So if you qualify for this group and you want to be plugged into this type of community, and you send the application in, we'll set up a time for us to go a bit deeper into your business. I'll go through all the details of the program. It is a year-long mastermind, so it is a commitment. What comes along with it too is 2 of these types of events. So the first one is coming up in June. What are the dates again? June.
Yeah, it's in the middle of June. So I think it's 9 to 14. I'll double check.
We should know that. So June is Oaxaca, Mexico. And then we're planning, man, the second one I'm super pumped about. We're planning the second mastermind in November. And we'll announce that once we secure the location. But that one's going to be freaking unbelievable. Really, really unique experience. But yeah, the mastermind is made up of 2 of these all-inclusive events. And then what we're going to also do is meet once a month on a Zoom mastermind intensive that lasts about 2 hours. And we leverage that to solve problems, talk about opportunities, connect with each other, but then also leverage the group to connect with big names in the space. You know, like, for example, last time we did that, we had Chip Conley jump on and mentor our group about it. And actually from that intensive we had with Chip Conley, that inspired a couple of different businesses. It inspired our business model, and inspired Hicksville business model. So those things are just so freaking powerful. But yeah, when are those dates? June?
Yeah, 16. So Thursday, because our events always run from Thursday to Monday, our live events. So we're kicking off Thursday, June 16th, and we close it out on Monday the 20th.
That's right. Yeah, man. Yeah. I can't wait for this one. And we got a lot of the same people coming back that was with us in Puerto Rico and Colombia too.
Yeah. Really cool. Yeah. It's going to be amazing. And I'm super excited about that location because it's beautiful. And we'll put a YouTube link in the show notes for the podcast. So if you go to getpaidforyourpad.com, you'll be able to find that. We'll put it on the website probably too. But there's a YouTube video that somebody made of the property, and it's just like you can see it's kind of remote. So it's like beautiful forest around the property. Every villa has a rooftop. So everybody will able to just go on the rooftop and overlook the ocean. I think there's 5 swimming pools. There's a private beach that you can literally walk down to, and just tap your feet into the warm the waters of the Pacific Ocean. So it's a really unique location, and that's something that's when you and I started this mastermind, that's something that was really important to us. We recognize that because we've been to a lot of conferences, we've especially you've done a lot of masterminds. And one thing we recognize is like, if you have let's say a conference at a hotel or something, right? Yeah. And you're sitting in that room and you're sitting on these plastic chairs next to each other. It doesn't really inspire to think outside of the box or to think high level in your business, because there's too much going on, right? Yep. Versus when you're just at a place like this, you're on the ocean in Mexico. You don't hear a lot of noise. There's some birds, and it's just super, super, super cool experience. Like those are the moments where you're just sipping on a cocktail, you overlook the ocean, and you're sitting next to somebody who runs a similar business. Exactly. And suddenly you're like, hey, hold on a second. Like you do these things this way and I do it this way. Like, let's talk about that. Yeah. And that's where the real value comes from.
100%, man. Like intention and space is everything, right? So we just did our Q2 planning, right? For 2 days. We carved out 2 days to go reflect on Q1, go into planning for Q2, solve the biggest problems in our business, right? For the upcoming quarter. We could have just done that over Zoom in our house or in our office, right? But I'm very intentional with breaking outside of the norm of our day-to-day. So we went up to, unfortunately, you couldn't come into the country, but we went up to Strawberry Creek Village in Idlewild, right? So, Aaron and I are waking up early. We're going for hikes. We're doing all this stuff. We're going into nature. We're being inspired, but we're outside of our day-to-day, right? So what that does is it causes you to, especially as CEOs, like owners of companies, like we need that thinking time. We need to break out of the day-to-day of our cell phones and emails and just the day-to-day to life and put ourselves in a place that's going to inspire us. Because once we're in that spot, then we can start thinking broader. We can start thinking, larger. We did the team disconnect weekend when I rented that yacht and I was on the yacht, right? And dude, that was just an hour south of where I was living, sitting on the water on this really cool yacht. And I mapped out the whole marketing plan of how we're going to scale our marketing department, right? I've been trying to do that for months. And just by creating that space to be inspired and have that thinking time, everything started clicking, right? Now, if you I love the events and all that stuff that's in our industry. I think it's really cool to do that and go and network and meet people and solidify relationships that you met online. But it's very difficult to go to one of these events where you're sitting in a big conference room, there's a big stage, people are talking at you. It's really difficult to solve your biggest problems there. You can maybe pick up they can plant a seed, or you can be introduced to a new method, but it's very high level. It's very surface level, I should say, right? You can't go deep into it. And then if you want to connect with someone who's on the stage, you're now fighting through these crowds to try to grab their attention. And it's not really optimal to solve problems, right? Or really build real relationships. So that's why I'm so excited about cultivating these groups. I mean, honestly, like, this is a lot of freaking work for us and our company to put these things on. And for us, the biggest value for you and I, and for the rest of our team, is having proximity to the individuals in this mastermind, right? And learning what they're doing so we can improve our business, and we can bring to them what we're doing so they can improve their business. And we're going to have a hell of a lot of fun doing it, right? And it's like, dude, I just can't wait, man. Like, I just can't wait. Like, we brought on a really cool team member, Jenny, to support us on the event management. We have a bigger budget this year. Mexico allows us to do some really cool things because of the currency exchange. And so this event is going to be freaking next level. And I'm excited to see the individuals that are coming in here. You know, I'm excited to understand how these boutique hotel investors and operators are running these things at a high level, because that's going to really support us with FreeWild. We're working on bringing down some really cool companies that are doing some unique stuff, trailers and tree houses and things like that. So we're going to learn that at scale, and then also understand the opportunities at scale inside the urban market. So it's going to be a solid group, man. I can't freaking wait.
Yeah. And one thing I recognize too is like our industry, like, things change so fast, especially in the last couple of years with COVID. Like, the whole world has been turned upside down, but our industry was moving so fast already. Like, even from Puerto Rico in 2019 to 2020 in Colombia, like, the conversation already shifted, right, in just a year time. And so I'm so curious to understand, like, what are the hot topics right now? What's everybody talking about, right? And what's everybody's goals? Like, one thing that I think we both recognized is a lot more people are now looking at owning, right, versus just managing.
Yep.
So those are kind of, that's what I'm really curious about.
I'm excited to learn, you know, I'm excited to solve the problem of financing right now, you know, at scale, because most of the people I speak to is we can build out the operational side, and we can learn all these techniques. But the biggest challenge nowadays is understanding how to scale, how to build wealth through real estate in one of the craziest real estate markets we've ever seen. Interest rates are now going up. It's getting harder to get financing, but there is a ton of money in our space, right? So I really want to understand, how are these companies structuring financing to acquire individual properties, but then also being able to scale at a high level, the model, right? Where, you know, understanding how to leverage certain type of financing, how to make decisions in today's market to where are the biggest opportunities in our markets. Yeah. And then what's great about it too, is like, we have people from around the world joining. So we get to understand different, not only different cultures, but also different markets to potentially invest in.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, the interest rates is interesting, right? Because it's, they're definitely going up. We were on I wasn't sure if it was our Rising Star call. No, I think it was one of the Legends X calls that I was on this week, actually, where somebody was talking about the interest rate that the bank was proposing for a financing deal. And he was saying, like, hey, that's like almost double of what it was a year ago. Right. Oh, wow. That has a massive impact, because even though the rates are still historically low, like, if you go from like 2 to 4%, for example, I mean, even 4% historically is like pretty low, but going from 2 to 4%, that's double. Right. And that means like your mortgage payments are double as well.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
So that's massive. Right. That's a massive change. So it's really interesting. Really interesting. I was actually playing, pedal ball. Have you played
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Of
like
course.
a mix between squash and tennis almost.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. So my buddy here in Panama found out that we have some pedal ball courts just down the road. And we went to play with a couple of crypto investors. We're also down here in Panama, and these guys are doing pretty well, like pretty sizable businesses. And we were talking about that. Like, it's really interesting to see what's going to happen with the inflation, and our rate's going to continue to go up. If it does, then it's going to have an effect on the real estate prices, right? Because like you just can't afford those high mortgage payments if those interest rates are going up. Or alternatively, is the central bank going to keep the interest rates low, but letting inflation run up, right? And thereby like devaluing the currency. So that it's almost like those are the two options. It's just interesting to see that as we're playing pedal boarding, like everyone's in real estate in our group, and that's what everyone's talking about. Is like the interest rates versus inflation.
Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, like, we have major, there's always opportunity in those situations, right? So it's like, that's what I'm looking to really understand is what's going to happen to the travel industry first off, right? Like here in California, gas prices through the freaking roof. And it's been happening for the last, year and a half, where they slowly been creeping up every single week. We just watch it go up a few cents. Recently, it's just shot through the roof. So it's over $6 a gallon where I'm from. LA there's $8 and $9 gallon prices in LA and San Francisco. Prices are insane. And there hasn't been anything. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to all this stuff. This is, way above my head. I don't understand these markets, but I haven't seen anything put in place that's going to change that cost, right? So everything is going up. So I'm really curious to see how that affects the short-term rental industry, the travel industry. Flights, right, are going to be more expensive. Obviously, driving is going to be more expensive. So where are the biggest opportunities, and how do you continue to drive a profitable short-term rental business at scale during these challenging times? But then also, how do we, for the legends, it's like people that are in a position of running multi-million-dollar short-term rental companies, how do we position ourselves to leverage our expertise in short-term rentals to acquire real estate that typically would be very challenging to buy in a difficult market, right? So it seems like we're going towards some type of correction in the market, right? At some point, it has to happen. So if interest rates are going up, inflation is going up, the cost of real estate is going down, but it's more difficult to acquire. How do we structure our business and financing to acquire these deals at scale, essentially? So I'm focused on short-term rental individual properties that are approved as short-term rental properties, boutique hotels, villages like what we bought up here, things like that. So that's what I'm personally interested in going into, and really interested in understanding that, and interested in understanding how to hire at a high level, right? Like now that we have the ability to take action and acquire real estate and run these things at a high level, how do you attract in the people that actually have done this before at a high level into your business and start scaling that? We're hiring quite a bit, but I'm really interested in understanding how to scale a pretty large team there. So
yeah,
I think we're going to go into quite a bit of this stuff, and I'm excited to learn it. So, but yeah, June is when we kick off, man. June.
Yeah, I mean, June. And time goes fast, so that's gonna come up pretty soon. We're gonna be kicking off the mastermind. As Eric mentioned, it's a 12-month membership, so we'll meet 2 times at a live event, but we also have a monthly virtual mastermind call, and the first one will be in May. So everybody who signs up now will get the introductions going on in May on the virtual mastermind, and then we'll meet in person in June.
Yep.
So that's what's coming up, guys. So if you're interested, again, like Eric mentioned, if you're 50 units plus, if you're owning $3 million in real estate, short-term rental real estate or more, or you're running boutique hotels, then go to strlegends.com, and we have a lot of information there on how to join. And if you want to apply, go ahead. It's a very quick process. Eric will jump on a call with you to dive into your business and see if it makes sense for both parties. And if so, we will welcome you in beautiful Mexico on June 16th.
That's right, man. And just one last point on this before we wrap up is because we are launching now for the next 2 weeks, anybody that we bring in, we're considering early bird. It just helps us, to plan these events out once we know exactly who's committed to it. Because we help with everything, transportation, flights, the whole thing. So for anyone who joins from now until the next 2 weeks, we're actually giving a pretty sizable discount on the mastermind. So we're giving $5,000 off membership for the year, which is huge. But we want to incentivize people to take action, see the value in this, and say, "Hey, I'm all in. I'll see you down in Mexico." So for anybody who joins from now until then, we're going to give you that early bird discount. And just head over to strlegends.com, submit that application, and we'll jump on a call.
That's right. Let's get those early birds, and we have a limited amount of early bird tickets. So don't wait too long. Grab your early bird ticket, strlegends.com, and that's it.
That's right, homie.
Let's wrap this up.
All right, Holmes. Appreciate it. And until next week.
Yeah, man. You have fun there in Idlewild. And for the listeners, thanks for listening. Of course, I'll be back on Monday with an episode of the host show. And we're actually going to talk to Alex, the guy I mentioned before, who's just joined the mastermind. So he runs 120 units out at Aruba. And it was a really interesting conversation. So make sure you don't miss that episode on Monday.
He's awesome. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
And with that said, Eric, thank you. And
all right, brother.
Listeners, thank you. See you next time.